So Tom, let's start with something that's very, very obvious. The fact you've just outdriven Tommy Fleetwood with your Spider-Man driver.
Well, there's a Hickory club.
Yeah.
And I think...
Persimmon head on it,
I played with it last year.
Yeah.
And I think it's been tailored to me since then. Because I made a massive slice last time, and the lovely guy that made it said that he's tailored it a little bit. So I think it's more fitted to my swing than Tommy's.
You'll always have that, though.
I will always have that.
You just stitched Tommy Fleetwood up down the 9th hole.
I absolutely have, yeah.
Why do you love golf?
I love golf for a few reasons. One, mainly because it's the thing I do with my dad.
Yeah.
My dad taught all of us to play golf, and I think it's one of the best gifts he's given us, along with many other things other than being a great dad. I love that I can be competitive against the best golfers in the world and some of my friends. I think the handicap system creates such a fantastic game. Like Andy Murray's up there.
Yeah.
I couldn't play him at tennis,
no.
but with enough shots, Tommy and I could have a competitive match, which I think is awesome. And I think, for me, I have a really overactive mind. And what I love about golf is it's a real leveler. So no matter how good a day you're having, it'll always humble you. And when you approach a ball and you go, right, the grain's this way, it's 140 into wind, slightly cold, so I should club up. It's on a downhill lie, so it's going to cut a little bit. When you're doing all of those calculations, you're not thinking about what's happening at work or happening at home. You're just thinking about golf.
Yeah.
But what I will say is when you're having a bad time at home and you come and have a bad time on the golf course, that's a recipe for disaster.
So the avid golfer might suggest that golf is harder than acting because there's no second take.
Without a doubt, it's harder than acting.
But maybe not where you started, obviously. When you're on the stage as Billy Elliot, the West End, that's high pressure. For you, what is the highest pressure thing in your discipline in life that you've come across that maybe a golfer can relate to from what we feel out here?
God, that's a good question. I think it would be a rude comparison to what the pros go through.
Right.
When we're on set, you know, we have huge support systems, people to rely on, the ability to do a second take.
Yeah.
And then I just did a show in the West End. I did Romeu and Juliet. And even when you make mistakes there, the audience don't know.
Really?
They don't know that you've flubbed a line or you've skipped a speech or something. Yeah, there'd be the avid fan that, you know, knows the book perfectly. And what we've got to do is emotional.
Yeah.
We just have to tell a story, whereas their sport is all about numbers.
Yeah.
There's no pictures on a scorecard. There's no emotion to it. It's like, did it go in or did it not? Did it lip out? So I think the pressure that they're under. I mean, I've been nervous for this day for like 3 days.
Have you?
And this doesn't mean anything. This is just a bit of fun. But like, if your house was on the line, if you're not in the top 10 and you're playing and you're grinding, that's a tough way to make a living, I'm sure. We're
going to let you go because Tommy's just hit a shot. That's why you're speaking in the hushed tones.
Yes.
If there's one part of his game you could steal for yourself, what would you have?
Do you know what? I'd steal his transition.
Right.
From the top of his backswing, like the way he seems to get to the top, and then his hips are like, I just don't think I'm flexible enough to like turn in the way that he does. Like when he strikes the ball, especially on the fairway, the sound is different. That like impact through the ground is different. And I think that's because of his transition. And obviously I love his signature follow through. I did a little bit of that on the last one. But
it's cool, isn't it?
Yeah, I've been a huge fan of his. My whole family are always rooting for him every time we're watching the golf.
Yeah.
So to play with him and see it up close for a whole round is a real treat.
I'm not having that Spider-Man wouldn't be flexible enough, by the way, but as Tom Holland, it's always great to have you out here. The people love seeing you.
Thanks,
and you're
mate.
some sort of player as well, so we'll come and watch you at your second.
Okay,
Thanks,
pressure's
Tom.
on. Thank you, mate.
Tom.
Nice to see you.
Cheers, good to see you.